Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, oh boy. I bet we are all thinking the same thing right now. How do we deal with these unsettling feelings within us? Well, I can tell you one thing. The tennis has been interesting. I don't know if it's me or if the tennis players are just better this tournament. Oh yeah, that was what I was trying to say. Look at this, guys. This is what happens when you reboot your computer. I've been having like minor issues for a long time with this KDE thing. Oh, I didn't plug it in, did I? Let me do that. Yeah, now it's gonna have some act wrong, but that's okay. That's what we expect from our Elgato. Yeah, this thing's completely disconnected. Let's go ahead and connect it. But yeah, I mean, this computer's just having a bunch of minor issues. You'd think, oh, it's Linux, you don't have to reboot it. Actually, you do. It's just, it's for minor things. You just reboot it for like really minor things. It's not major life-changing things like for Windows, where it just slows down your computer and it messes everything up, or it messes up your internet completely. Everything just goes wrong. Linux, it's just like minor things, like you can't see your Wi-Fi networks, but you can still connect to Wi-Fi. Things like that. My battery was showing up incorrectly for a while. Now it's showing up correctly. I think. Yeah, it is. It is. So now it charges up to full again. The only issue is that now the battery health is really not good. So I don't know what's gonna happen in regards to that battery. Not really sure. See if I can maybe shuffle a little bit here. Come on, guys. Get it together. But yeah, we're just going to do a quick open-close cycle of Elgato. Because when you open up Streamlabs OBS and your Elgato isn't connected already, it really messes things up. So quick open close should do it. Right? Guess not. Try it again. I'm gonna count how long it takes for it to show up. Alright, it's open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's detected. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, this is ridiculous. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There we go. Okay, I had to open it through the menu. So it has nothing to do with the with whatever it is, with the countdown. I don't think it does. No capture devices found. Okay. No signal. There we go. Alright. Yes. But anyway, what I was saying here is you go to the battery health here. Now it's only 34%. It was 44% just a few days ago before it restarted and got all its updates. I got a firmware update and everything. And now it's 34%. Oh my goodness gracious. Family. What's a brother to do when his battery health is 34%? I'm gonna try and fix these not correct unreads. Oh no, it's 2. See, I knew it. See, you go back to the exact message and it fixes it. Cause sometimes spam bots get in here. Yeah, see, this guy literally said that there's a spammer in here. Okay, whatever. Shadow it. I don't give a damn about that. I mean, I actually kind of care about that, but I don't know why it broke here. That's kind of weird. So there's still some unreads here, but it's not as big of a deal. I'm guessing this guy is banned because I can't see anything here. Alright, now it's more accurate. Now it's 4. 4 is more reasonable. Minute CTF has something going on. May Flash CTF is starting in 2 minutes. They couldn't have told me that yesterday. Mega Gallade. Okay, guys. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. That's all I care about. I'm just like all the other grown-ups now. The only time I refer to Pokemon is just that gotta catch 'em all theme. That's it. That is all, y'all. But anyways, I don't know, man. I've been a little bit vulnerable this year. And it's completely involuntary. It's an involuntary vulnerability. And that's caused me to, like, women's tennis more. I still don't love it or anything like that. Nothing like that, but I can't lie when I say this. The celebrities in tennis are much more ladylike than the celebrities everywhere else. I think that's what we're missing in our society these days. We need more ladies and less hood rats. Enumeration. Let's see what we got here. OS, user, network, and oh my god. Did I ask? Or did I ask? I don't know. I don't know if I like this very much. We'll get back to you. We'll get back to you. I'm trying to find something that I'm gonna legitimately enjoy, because we're getting to the deadline aspect, and there's kind of a statute of limitations. At least for me, there is a statute of limitations. I kind of just want to get the LinkedIn post done the same day that I do the room. Man, these rooms are not very good in my opinion. These are red team rooms, but if I remember correctly, the blue team rooms are really much better. I mean, really, at this point, it's just busy work, you know? I just gotta find something out of the busy work that I can make use of. I really gotta find another way to do, like, skills training, because TryHackMe has not really been hitting as hard as it was before. I used to be excited to go on TryHackMe. Now I'm just like, okay, it's another day at the office. But like not a good day at the office, just like a day at the office. You feel what I'm saying? We'll do this one. Kind of random. I know it's impulsive, but I think we might be able to make some use out of this. AppSecIR. That sounds pretty interesting, admittedly. So let's take a look at this. I do kind of want to read some OmniReader though. Zaire here. Where was I? Where did we leave off? This all looks unfamiliar. I think it was here, actually. Okay. Yeah, I remember this part. When does Asmodeus come into play? Okay, I've read this before for sure. I think this was the one I read before the last stream, I think. No, it's not. This is earlier on. Why is all this looking so unfamiliar to me? There's something I'm missing here. Because I know I've read this part. Yeah, this part I've definitely read. No question about it. Cause see, here's the thing. I've already gotten through some of the the novel part of it, but I don't remember which. Like sometimes I think my brain just gets confused when I see certain lines being said, and I'm just like, okay, I've read this before, but I don't know if it's actually from the manhwa or from the novel. Okay. I'm at my limit. I can feel my body slowly dying. It was a short turn, even so many things happened. I'm trying to figure out what exactly happened to him. Okay, so you killed this guy. Because he was very bold and overconfident. But how did he kill him, though? You know, maybe I haven't read this yet, because I remember this part where he said take him and run, but I think the part that I didn't read was the part after that. So we're just gonna start there. Man, I literally got so lost. Foolish transcendence. This is the cost of intruding on the Constellation's festival. You will die here. Some of you will die too. Haha. It is useless. After all, the destruction of reincarnation form is merely an addition. In the next life, half of you will die. Oh, they don't like that. And in the life after that, all of you will die. You all will die forever! Arrogant Transcendent with bullshit. The exclusive skill Gigantification level 6 has been activated. Alright, so this is where he slices his head off. Gah, you dare. Damn. Leave no particle of your enemy left behind. You bastard! The power of Gigantification that only increases his strength without changing his body. He can maintain the state for up to 10 minutes. 10 minutes! Excessive concentration has expanded the application range of the attribute. The exclusive attribute Ruler of Amusement has been activated. It doesn't matter Jung-hyuk is male or female. She's still a gamer. Okay. Man, you love to see folks jumping on top of rocks to get more height. That's always going to be awesome. It's over, bruh. It is over. Sky-breaking swordsmanship. Advanced technique. This is the Transcendent you mocked. Sky-breaking meteor strike. Gog! Yeah. Be punished for your transgressions. I'm at my limit. I can feel my body slowing down. It was a short turn. Even so, many things happened. The Fable, one who inherited the name of the Supreme Ruler, is crying out. Fable, one who confronts the extraordinary, has begun telling its story. Oh, okay. This was like back during when they were doing the duel. Fable, okay. You shall die by my hand. The Fable Paradise of Despair has begun telling its story. Fable, one who fought against an outer god, has begun telling its story. Do you remember it? I'm Yu Jung-hyuk too! He remembers that? I thought he was just like, man, that's some bullshit. I guess he actually remembers that. Fables I can never obtain alone. Impressive. Fable, the one who hunted the King of Disasters, is roaring. It seems you already cannot be called a human anymore, child. fabled companion in life and death wants to continue telling its story. I can't die. Here, in a place like this, I can't die. However, it is merely a fable of a human. A foolish human, ignorant of how exalted a god's authority is. Bro, you got nerfed in this scenario. What are you talking about? You're no god here. The constellation demon-like judge of fire is furious. The constellation Queen of the Darkest Spring is feeling sorry for the incarnation Yu Jung-hyuk. The constellation Prisoner of the Golden Headband is pointing fingers at the cowardly constellations. Yeah, that's right. Bunch of pussies. Many constellations are complaining about the constellations on the battlefield. I don't blame him, it's a fucking boring battle. What exactly is the meaning of this? The winner of the second round was the Yu Jung-hyuk Kim Dokja Industrial Complex. It may have been by a narrow margin, but it shouldn't be a debate. So why didn't you announce the winner? This is the decision of the Bureau. But Rom, this is the main scenario. So, when did the Bureau officially interfere with the development of the main scenario? Especially in a scenario where a giant fable is involved. Don't you know what will happen if you do this, Baram? Please tell me, who the hell did this? Was it one of your superiors? You dare doubt the great Dokebis right now? Are there any streamers who can do this besides them? Be young. Get a hold of yourself. Why would they do this? I wouldn't know that. Perhaps some bribes were received. Be young. Even a great Dokebi cannot withstand the storm that would follow interfering with a scenario of this scale. Then who would do such these things? This is the sound of plausibility moving. No, wait, that's impossible! Do you understand now? The will of the Starstream wanted this. This is ridiculous! There is no other way to explain it. Then, why does a streamer exist? We cannot stop this nonsensical development. What worth is there in the streamers of this world? Oh my god, he's having an existential crisis. Be young. A streamer is also merely part of the story. Shit. You're really gonna make me have an existential crisis too? Now this story's even left the hands of the streamer. There's only one person left to believe in. Our main man, Dokja Kim. But! But! Ba 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 ba! But! Is this the industrial complex? No matter how I look at it, this don't look like a stage from the mythical battlefield. Dokcha? Pretty strong, aren't you, BU? But! Did the constellations come? Yes! The winning team of the second round is currently being determined. Seems the winner still hasn't been announced. Yes. The winning team of the second round is currently being determined. By the way, where's Yu Jung-hyuk? I can sense several entities of constellation status. So many constellations gathered. The fact that my companions are able to escape this far means... That stupid bastard. Dokcha? Ajasi, no! You'll die, Ajasi! You'll die if you go there! Man, dying ain't new for this guy. Kim Dokcha thought. Is there a way? I'll invest all 3 million coins into my vitality, strength, agility, and mana. Your total stats have increased abnormally. The invested coins have allowed you to exceed the stat limit of the current scenario. The overflowing plausibility is partially disabled the stat constraint of the current scenario. The growth of the stats in correlation to the invested coins will be randomly adjusted. Okay, so he's taking advantage of the scenario adjustment. I mean, of the plausibility adjustment. Your mind cannot cope with the evolution of your incarnation form. The exclusive skill 4th wall has been activated. Oh, thank God for that. Your incarnation form is evolving to a new stage. Guk! I've been saving this as a last resort. It's highly inefficient. But there's no other way now. After the early scenarios, total stats didn't have much influence in combat. Fables, stigmas, and skills had much more influence in combat. However, a situation like this is different. What I need now isn't a powerful skill, but a strong body. Your agility has reduced air resistance. Your mana has opened block meridians. Your strength is causing an explosive change. Oh, frick. Yu Jung-hyuk! Just when Dokcha shows up, he becomes a man again. I love it. I didn't know I could change the... You can change the volume from here. That's pretty nice. It's pretty decent. You idiot! What are you doing? The 4th wall is shaking violently. Get lost! Bruh, you think you can fuck him up when he's using electrification? Sit the fuck down. Stop him! Yu Jung-hyuk is dying. Yu Jung-hyuk! Shh. Asmodeus! If you're truly a demon king, keep your promise! tripping? Didn't he already show up? Did I really go backwards? What the fuck? I guess I just forgot what happened. I knew it. I knew it. I knew something was off about this. And I still read it. It's just, I don't remember this part. Yeah, this was where I left off on. This is where I left off on. Okay. Yeah, I was here. Man! Oh, you're still young. You still got it. Do I, though? Alright. This guy's still alive. The Demon King of Salvation I wanted to meet for so long is fighting. I wanted to fight with him. Why? Why is no one helping us? So many stars are watching us. So why? The exclusive skill Unidentified Wall has been activated. Please. Please, just anyone is fine. Do you really want to help? The Unidentified Wall asks. I said, do you really want to help? I'll accept any price. Please. Hi, do you happen to know Kim Dokcha? That guy happens to be looking for you. Hello, Constellation Images. I would like to ask for a favor. Do you happen to know who Kim Dokcha? Constellation Nim, please help. Kim Dokcha is in danger. Please help him, please. These are the messages I sent. Why? Could it be that the reason I hadn't received a single reply in all those constellations was the Unidentified Wall says I was told not to send them. Oh my god. Shit! By who? A being with much higher status than me. Send them. Right now! Send all of them! The Unidentified Wall says with a sigh. Don't regret it. 124 messages have been sent. Constellation One-Eyed Matri has entered the channel. Okay. Small constellation of the small planet has entered the channel. The constellation Brash Swamp Predator has entered the channel. The constellation's Joseon's First Shaman has entered the channel. The constellation Goryo's Finest Sword has entered the channel. Secretive Plotters entered the channel. Oh shit. Now that's gonna get Doksha's attention. Constellation Prisoner of the Golden Headband is clenching his fists tightly in encouragement. Constellation Abyssal Black Flame Dragon is looking at you while grumbling under his breath. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about my incarnation. I just want to watch Doksha. I want to get some real entertainment. My constellation is boring and just complains all the time. Constellation Demon-like Judge of Fire is gently clasping both hands together. Constellation Secretive Plotter is looking at you. Constellations who favor you are looking at you. It's a weird message to get. Your fable is being created in the 73rd Demon Realm. Child, I am well aware of your expectations, but the constellations will not help you. They will never make foolish choices, for the stars are clever. Being that none amongst them will want to provoke the hostility of a nebula. What if they have their own nebula? What the... What the f... Oh, okay, it's this guy. The Brash Swamp Predator. He just showed up? What the frick? You are free to go. Huh? What? Oh, he probably figured out that Doksha paid his debt. Oh, shit. Have you come to pay off your debt? I could have paid them back without that measly sum without your help. I just don't like those bastards very much. That's why I came. Lackey of the Gourmet Association, are you not afraid of the nebula? Nebula? Ah ha 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 ha! Since when does the Gourmet Association care about such a thing? Krog! Yeah, that's right. Kick their asses. One interfering piece of garbage does not change the outcome. The winner of the second round will soon be announced. Child, things shall not work out as you wish. Far greater amounts of plausibility than before being moved. Is the plausibility provided by Betis? The will of Betis shall dawn here. Ugh. Shit. The fabled king of the 12 suns radiating. Man, they really are fighting the sun. Do you see the difference in status now? The Stigma Song of the Sword level 3 has been activated. In the night, a divine being, you will win greatly, appeared in my dream, and said, if you do this, such were their words, you will lose if you do otherwise. The verse is left by the Duke of Loyalty and Warfare have been imbued into your sword at random. A stigma of a historical grade constellation. What a trifling trick you're using. Thanks to the skill, I can see the source of the light. Oh. The verse had the ability to reveal the enemy's weakness through color. Man, that's so lit. Green signifies the strong areas. And the red shows his weak areas. Well, you're gonna have to look a little bit harder than that. There aren't any. So, what did you see? I can't see his weak points. Making a scene with the stigmas you have stolen will not change a thing. Though you may have become a constellation, you were born a human. The balance of the plausibility is tilted. That means I can put more weight on it as well. Oh, fuck. Come, Goryo's finest sword! Is over. There's no way dude survives now. This is like the strongest Transcendent ever. It has been far too long, Descendant. It's been a while, Elder. Your status changed. From a historical grade constellation to a fable grade constellation. It's all thanks to you. Several things have happened since then. Seems I can finally repay my debt to you. Hold up. Every time I get a text message, it's either from a politician or a dealership. Spring savings explosion at Ford of Kendall. Deals are hot and going fast. Up to $12,500 off. New. Up to $9,600 off pre-owned. Man, if you don't quit. There's no way I'm ever getting a new vehicle from Ford, ever. It's not happening. Ford is going to have to really, really try if they want to get my business. Because right now, my trust level with them is pretty much 0. Out of 1 million. How dare. A mere historical grade. He's a fable grade now. It's coming. Actually, isn't this guy kind of like on the same level as the Eater of Dreams? Because he's like semi-mythical. But this guy is just using like an incarnation form. So I think it's kind of the same level as the Eater of Dreams. So this is kind of like a similar scale of warfare. He might be a little bit stronger than the Eater of Dreams. Because like the Eater of Dreams, you know, he was like ravenous and impatient and all of that. But this guy is different. I knew the gods of the Indian pantheon were no joke. But he truly is a monster. I shall be the one to face you! Bro, if you don't get this 3-sword slash technique to the dome and disintegrate, like, you're just a waste of space, bro. We only care about Surya. That's it. Senses I obtained from the previous game. Senses are components that make up the giant fable. Finally, the giant fable of this world has started to stir. What are y'all doing? There is no time. Kill them all quickly. Demon King Master of Discord is showing hostility towards you. Holy crap. Damn it, the Demon Kings that have been passive this entire time are starting to make their move. Yeah, now they have a stake in it. Now the Giant Fable's starting to move. Even with 2 allies here, we're still at a huge disadvantage. Yeah, it's a problem, because you have somebody at the level of the Eater Dreams, but then, like, you also got the Demon Kings involved. It's really not good. We need more help. Who can face Demon Kings that powerful? Urgh! And how hard I can't think of a constellation that could request for help right now. Bro, you're just gonna have to go all in Secret of a Plotter. Just be like, just go for that gamble. That's the only thing you can do, man. Fire full force! What? Ghost Fleet? Adjusy, it's me! Sorry for being late! Constellation Maritime War God is looking at you. Jihei, run! Cuck. My legs. This won't work as it is. Not like this. If I don't use the way of the wind. You're trying to do everything on your own again, Dokja SSI. I told you not to do that. What? I didn't recognize her for a second there. I got here late because I lost the coin flip, so don't be too upset at me. Wait a minute, he won C! I know what you're thinking, but don't worry. I won't be the one fighting here. Is this really gonna work? The constellation demon-like Judge of Fire is manifested in the 73rd Demon Realm. Oh, it should work because you got Demon Kings involved. Oh, okay, okay. Never mind. It's all starting to come together. Alright, this is Sing Song. Since before starting Omni Reader Viewpoint in 2018, we've already entered its 9th year. I believe this series has been able to continue for so long thanks to the readers who love this story and to the authors and artists who turned into such an incredible webtoon. To all the authors and artists devoting themselves tirelessly since the start of the webtoon serialization, to the readers who continue trying to reread the stories as it steadily accumulates, I would like to thank you all from the bottom. Alright, you're welcome. Hello, I'm Umi, the one in charge of the storyboards. Thank you sincerely for sticking with us through all of Season 1, which was by no means short. The encouragement and impressions you shared every chapter have become a great source of strength to me. I've also been able to become a reader alongside all of you, and experience appreciating the great work that is ORB. Those moments are truly meaningful to me. To the authors Sing Song and the artist Sleepy Sea, and to everyone else who helped out, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to you all. It's been an honor to be entrusted with such a tremendous series and to participate in it up to this point. To prepare for incredible stories still to come, I'll take some time to reorganize before returning. Please continue to look forward to it. Once again, thank you all for deep love and support you've shown us. You're welcome. Hello, this is Sleepy C. At last, I'm here to greet you all with the conclusion of Season 1. While adopting this long and expansive story into Web 2, we were able to come this far thanks to all the readers who stuck with us through every chapter. I worked my absolute best to capture the trauma of the original work through my art. I was able to push myself to work even harder. Thanks to the love and support you've given me in return for my hard work. To the authors Sing Song, who entrusted me with this precious story, to author Umi for always sending me wonderful storyboards, and to the staff who worked alongside me, I want to sincerely thank you all. I'll continue striving to grow for the upcoming Season 2, presenting an even better version of myself. Thank you for your love towards Season 1. You're very welcome. Alright, so this quote is from the War Diary of Admiral Yi Sun-sen. Yi Sun-sen was able to defeat 330 ships with just 13 ships. One of the greatest naval victories in history of each Korean vessel having to defeat Japanese ships. So is Jihye gonna survive this? Because this just seems kind of like a bad situation for her. This just seemed like an extremely bad environment. I'm getting rid of this. I'm saving it for Christmas. I'm ready. Preparation, detection, identification, containment, eradication, recovery. Okay, so all the usual suspects. Wait, what is this? Runtime application self-protection. Alright. Yeah, there's no plan to fail, it's just fail the plan. Which is kind of a cycle, I guess. This is, Sorry, I'm a bit unfocused today. Let me get something else on.
Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the professor, and this is the moment of truth.
This was
Moment of Truth 1094.
basically it was exposed by my paper, the New York Times, sort of lawsuit against from Donald Trump to his own Department of Justice for $10 billion with a B dollars that wasn't public until the press made it public. So he was trying to line his pockets with taxpayer money for his own grievances. When that was going to go to court and clearly was going to be questioned, all of a sudden there is this settlement.
Professor Black Truth is low-key behind because reparations is an outdated term. Now we're using tangibles, so I don't know why he's still using reparations. I think maybe he's just on his time. He's not really paying attention to the rest of the black media. But yeah, bro, you're a little bit behind, bro. Like, reparations is not the term anymore. It's a valid term to use, but I don't know. I just think he shouldn't be encouraging people to keep using that word, because that's a bit old school.
That is $1.7 billion, again, of our money, taxpayer money.
Alright, I gotta go to the bathroom. Sorry. I'll be right back.
proceed. This is what you need, what you need. Proceed. This is what you need, what you need.
This is Knuckles, and you have reached the death chamber. From front to back, all I see is stones. I'm glad that I don't call this home. A lot of trick stuff that makes you fall into a trap. Eggman wants to steal a soul, keep the emeralds and build a throne. Not if I can.
Man. New Pipe is being a real annoying piece of work right now. Let me tell you. Gotta use JDownloader to get what I want. Alright. Alright. Hold on. Just gotta wait for this mess to do its thing here. Like, I can still download stuff from NewPipe, but it's only letting me download in a video format, not in an audio format. So, maybe if I restart my phone, it'll fix it. I doubt it, though. Watch it fix it, bro. I'm gonna be adding this to my playlist. I've been warming up to Justice for All, but as OST, but also the original as well. They've both been getting better. Alright, let's get back to business here. I'm gonna try one time to download an audio file from NewPipe. One more time. Nope, it's still not working. I can get a video, no audio. And it's only in 360p. I don't know what's going on with that, with this platform, but it's probably something to do with YouTube. I really gotta finish Turnabout Big Top. It's really been bothering me for like weeks now. Just the fact that I just have Turnabout Big Top just unfinished. It's just unfinished. I don't like it. I'm on day 3 of the court, at the courtroom. But I just got really pissed off because the judge said, try again, and I was like, okay, I'm done with this mess. This clown show, this freak show, I'm putting an end to it. Like, I was able to, like, I went through Mo, you know, I was alright with Mo, because sometimes the theme song that he has is admittedly rather pleasant. But it just gets to a point where you just get fed up, bro. Honestly, I was more pissed at Von Karma than I was at Mo. That's just the long and short of it. Von Karma's been pissing me off way, way more. I don't know if she is more reasonable later in the story, but right now she is the worst.
That goes to whomever Todd Blanche, the president's former personal attorney, decides.
By the way, if you're wondering why my chair isn't making so much ruckus as it used to be, I actually got rid of it because it started leaning forward, and oh man, I should have thrown it away, but I didn't. I ran out of time yesterday, but yeah, like the chair, no, the chair was no good. I had to get rid of it. This other chair, which is like my backup chair, I have 2 backup chairs, so I still have one that's like on standby. But this chair I have right now, it was in the garage. I was letting my sister use it, and it's just been shedding. It's fake leather all over the place. But I just clean it up. Now it's pretty much just like a gray cloth seat right now. It's pretty comfortable, actually. It's not bad. I'm expecting it to also break like the other one, but whatever. I bought myself some more time. So that's all I really need right now. I just need to buy more time until the point where Springboard job guarantee ends and I can possibly get a refund. If I don't get a refund, I'll at least have a job, and then I can just pay it off. Either way, I'm going to be able to pay off a new chair. There was another song I was actually looking at as well. Better Call Saul, y'all. Better Call Saul. Honestly, at this point, I'm just a sucker for courtroom stuff. So, if Better Call Saul has a lot of like courtroom scenes, I think I'm actually gonna watch it this summer. I think I'm legit gonna just be like episode after episode, just watching it up. Chicanery turnabout. Because I've been seeing some clips where they have like Better Call Saul like scenes, but with Phoenix Wright sound effects. It's Better Call Saul or Liar Liar. But those are very entertaining because like it's the Phoenix Wright sound effects and music, but there's no Phoenix Wright text sounds. They're speaking normally. It really just puts into perspective just how great Phoenix Wright sound effects and music really are. Like you can just put it in a completely different series and it just works. Like everything is different, the court system, the people, everything. And yet this is a video saying who's the better lawyer. I don't know which one I watched, because there was one that I watched and there's apparently another one here. So I wonder if Saul would win this one. But like there's actually 3 videos about this. One of them said Phoenix Wright would win. The other one said that Saul would win. But low-key, Saul only won because Edgeworth threw the whole entire case. So I'm trying to figure out if this is the... I think this is the one I haven't watched yet, I think. No. This is the one I have watched. The other one, this one right here. Not that one. Let's see. Justice for All is criminally underappreciated. I mean, even if it's criminally underappreciated, nobody would appreciate Turnabout Big Cop. Nobody. content offline. Whatever. Let's play the fucking video.
They say when you're in trouble, you better call Saul. But is it really all good, man, if he's up against the Ace Attorney? That's exactly what we're gonna find out today. So be sure to like and subscribe, because I'm going through all the evidence available to reach a verdict between Phoenix Wright and Saul Goodman.
This guy sounds familiar. Is it really him?
Who would win, Phoenix Wright or Saul Goodman? So I finally finished.
Yeah, this one
Better Call
might be the
Saul,
one that I haven't
pegged in
watched
a
yet.
strange fascination in media about scrawny fictional lawyers, and I really loved this show, probably more than even its sister show, Breaking Bad. So I find it funny that the main reason I watched one of the best television series in history was just
Yeah, I guess it was this one.
stupid question that's been in my mind for about a year now. And finally today, I shall officially break down which of our two favorite bumbling legal minds would truly win against one another. But of course, some ground rules, besides the obvious. So first, number one, this isn't a fight to the death. Because if it were, Saul would be fucking obliterated. Phoenix may not be known for dishing out any punches besides airbending, but my dude has been punched, whipped, tased, clubbed, burned, and most notably fallen 60 feet into a freezing cold river, and got hit directly by a car that launched him high enough to bonk his head on top of a light pole, and walked away with a mild fever and sore ankle respectively. Meanwhile, Saul was over here being beaten up by a depressed insomniac. So yeah, Saul doesn't got this. Instead, this is going to be a legal debate. Not an official trial, as both are defense/criminal attorneys, but a debate more like who stole the last cookie from the cookie jar, where both sides had to defend their respective clients for the cookie snatching allegations. And number two, this debate won't fall under either of their respective legal systems. Now obviously Saul and Phoenix will have a significant advantage under Albuquerque or Japan-California laws. So instead, it all falls under the rules of this hypothetical debate. Now I don't know the rules, nor do I want to go through the effort of making them, because as you'll soon see, the specifics are kinda irrelevant. This also doesn't mean that their pre-existing legal knowledge and experiences are entirely useless. Rather, it's more about how they can learn, interpret, and take advantage of the rules for their own advantage. So with the ground rules set, court is now in session. So first, between Mr. Wright and Mr. Goodman, who is the better lawyer overall? And to that I would immediately say Saul Goodman. Saul's biggest advantage is his incredible charisma and persuasiveness, not to mention that he possesses a very strong knowledge of the law. And that mix between his silver tongue and legal mastery makes him a very formidable opponent. This is especially notable in the bookends of Better Call Saul.
I wonder if they use that phrase in the actual show. Is everybody saying, "Oh, he has a silver tongue"?
Death sentence to him
Everybody
and two
says
others
that.
leaving with their lives. And then in the finale, where he brought down the near guaranteed life sentence plus 190 years to just 7 years and almost mint chocolate every Friday. So it's safe to say that Saul is a
I saw
stellar
that.
lawyer who pulls out all the stops for him and his clients. Meanwhile, Phoenix always acts like it was just isekai'd into being a lawyer. However, Phoenix certainly isn't a pushover, because while Saul's strength is his persuasiveness, Phoenix's meanwhile is his persistence. While Saul
What the
usually
hell?
has some nuance within his trials,
Yo.
Phoenix is always working with absolutes, and always on the wrong side of them to boot. But despite that, he still fights back, and he really is able to hold his own. While a lot of the time it is Wright desperately bluffing his way to stall out trials, he can masterfully piece together all the evidence and testimonies to formulate a very strong counter to the prosecution.
Alright, I'm just gonna
Once Phoenix is
try
in
and
the
exit and
zone,
reopen.
he is a force to be reckoned with. And with this being a more neutral setting, Wright will have a lot more wiggle room to make an even stronger case for his client. But it's one thing to win inside of the courtroom, it's another thing to win outside of it. And once again, Saul, or rather Slippin' Jimmy, is clearly the master at this. He treats the law like a toddler on a Red Robin's Kids menu, who will break any rule, both legal and moral, to ensure victory for him and his client, to force the other's hand before they even engage in battle.
I mean, if he doesn't get penalized for
Every
it, he might
single
as well
trick
do
in the
that.
book, plus a couple more he added in just for fun. But that's not to say that Phoenix doesn't dabble in a little bit of chicanery himself. Phoenix has forged evidence and literally rigged an entire trial against
Every
someone
single
just 'cause he
Phoenix
didn't
Wright
like to do it.
fan knows
And he
about
can
this
pull some
chicanery thing.
unexpected stunts from cross-examining a parrot to defending an orca. So there's literally nothing off the table for Phoenix's defense. But for the most part, his tampering is more of him bumming around like an idiot rather than actual malicious or thoughtful intent. Certainly not the extent of Slippin' Jimmy, but perjury Phoenix is certainly capable of it. And Phoenix's mere knowledge of tampering has allowed him to easily recognize and circumvent any obstruction of justice that may occur, especially since he has a history of facing shady prosecutors multiple times, and even a time where the law was being actively changed to negate his and Apollo's objections, and still clinch
I saw
victory
that
off of
too.
sheer
This is
willpower
crazy.
alone. Yeah, this series gets dumb. But it goes to show that no matter how dire the circumstances are, Phoenix will continue to push to protect his clients. But both sides certainly have their faults too. As persistent as Phoenix is, he often requires the assistance of others to keep pursuing further, like an aforementioned law-changing example, which in a scenario just between him and Saul will be a massive disadvantage for him. Not to mention that a lot of his victories rely heavily on luck being on his side, though Phoenix is somehow a very lucky bastard. But it has caused Phoenix to just waltz into traps and rely on his skill and luck to dig his way out of it. Something someone like Saul would probably try and minimize as much as possible. Meanwhile, Saul is often very impatient, impulsive, and greedy, which leads to his downfall in many cases. Saul works best when he's a step ahead, but is at his worst when the other side is the one step ahead. And when the other has clearly made up their mind, Saul has trouble saying anything to convince them otherwise. So TLDR, from their own skills as a lawyer, Saul is way more proactive, while Phoenix is more reactive, if you get what I mean. But as tough a competitors each of them are, they're nothing without the peers they have on their side. Saul has a lot of great partners in crime, like the ever-talented Kim Wexler being the yang to Saul's yin, Mike Ehrmantraut dealing with all the dirty work, and a god amongst men Huel Babineau, as well as currently every single criminal in the state.
Is that guy like his
But without a doubt, Phoenix has the edge in terms of
support
allies
staff
on his
in
side,
the
for
courtroom?
very simple reason that most, if
Oh my
not
God, it's
all,
still telling me it's
have
offline.
fucking superpowers. Phoenix has assembled an entire law office full of superpowered lawyers that can instantly discover if someone's lying through sight, emotion, or even their soul. Oh yeah, and of course the very handy logic. And don't get me started with the ability to summon people from the dead. And yeah, this isn't really a contest. Even just with the power of his Magatama that Maya gifted him, would probably be enough to see through anything Saul could throw at him. Like, just with the help of his daughter Trucy and a perceive ability, he was able to go undefeated at poker for 7 years straight. So yeah, Saul would certainly have a hard time against Phoenix's squad of superpowered lawyers and literal ghosts.
So let me get this straight. Phoenix's daughter has a superpower, but Phoenix Wright himself doesn't. Whew! That is girl power right there, bro. The men have nothing. They just gotta take it in the A. They have to cheat.
Side, for the very simple reason that most, if not all,
I mean, hold
allies
up.
on
Let
his
me just
side.
see.
For the very simple
Yeah, so broke, loser, barely scraping by. The only guy who has any actual power or influence, but he cheats. Whipmaster, spirit medium,
reason that most, if not all,
psychologist, like they all have superpowers.
have fucking superpowers. Phoenix has assembled an entire law office full of superpowered lawyers that can instantly discover if someone's lying through sight, emotion, or even their soul. Oh yeah, and of course the very handy logic. And don't get me started with the ability to summon people from the dead. And yeah, this isn't really a contest. Even just with the power of his Magatama that Maya gifted him, would probably be enough to see through anything Saul could throw at him. Like, just with the help of his daughter Trucy and a
Perceive.
ability, he was able to go undefeated at poker for 7 years straight.
So yeah, Saul would certainly have a hard time against Phoenix's squad of superpowered lawyers and literal ghosts. That is, unless Mike has anything to say about it.
Uh-oh.
But assuming literally murdering your opponent isn't allowed, Saul's only fighting chance is how elaborate his schemes can get, especially with the help of all of his allies. As said before, Saul wins his battles even before he engages in them. And when partnered with Kim, Mike, Huel, or the film crew, the more foolproof the plan becomes. So he could easily mess with Phoenix or the defendant or the trial itself like he's done repeatedly in the past against far more astute lawyers like Chuck and Howard. So it would be possible to get to Phoenix with something, as he has been affected by similar attempts in the past. Anything to ensure that this debate will never reach trial, as if it does, Phoenix's agency will easily dismantle every bit of Saul's scheme. As intelligent and formidable Saul and Kim are, and as much forged evidence and tampering they could throw out, there's only so much you can do against the literal Justice League of lawyers. So overall, what do I think? Well, it's a little difficult because unlike a power scaling fight...
Aren't there only 3 of them though? Like, could you really call it the Justice League if it's just Phoenix Wright, Apollo, and Athena, I think is the 3rd one. There's only 3. I mean, I guess Edgeworth might count as the 4th one. Because Edgeworth was like a defense attorney for a bit. I really want to play that part of the game, the Miles Edgeworth investigations. I think that would be very interesting because, like, from what I've seen, the sprites get updated and they look a lot more expressive, and the music is also pretty good as well. What is wrong with this YouTube? Stop disconnecting me. How many times have I disconnected this stream? Never. No drop frames, no disconnection. It's just YouTube having problems. YouTube being... Yeah, that's probably why it's telling me it's offline, is because YouTube is just having issues now. But for some reason,
a debate like this has a lot more restrictions,
the videos are
intricacies,
working.
and outside factors that could
But
sway
everything else is
either
not.
way. But in my opinion, this
Chat
debate
room
really
is
comes
failing.
down to a wild card for each side.
Download is failing.
Saul and the extent of his shenanigans before and during the debate, and Phoenix's trust in his client being innocent. I know both are kinda cop-out answers, but those two are really the 2 biggest determining factors. Like, Saul is very much capable
Yeah, I mean,
of kidnapping...
aside from Justice for All, I have, like, pretty much a reason to play every Ace Attorney game. Trials and Tribulations for the Coffee Guy. Ace Attorney Investigations for the updated sprites. Apollo Justice, that one I could probably skip. But, like, the other ones... You know, there's, like, a guy who's, like, a professor... And he writes note, like, the only one who's allowed to speak is me. He's like some, I think, legal professor or something. I don't know. It looks very interesting. Even the 3D ones, like, I would usually just be like, fuck the 3D ones. But for Phoenix Wright, I might make an exception. I might. It just depends. If Trials and Tribulations goes well, then I'll probably get into the 3D ones.
Maya or ordering physical violence against Phoenix. But it's very hard to believe Saul would willingly go to those extremes unless he himself is in a dire situation. And Phoenix is only truly a menace in trial if he knows in his heart he is right. If he even doubts himself slightly or believes that his client is guilty, he crumbles under the pressure. Phoenix is only as strong as his willpower, so break the trust, you break his entire argument. But in short, I feel just between Saul and Phoenix alone,
Edgeworth?
is his willpower, so break the trust, you break his entire
Coffee guy.
argument. But in short, I feel just between Saul and Phoenix alone, Saul has a clearer line to victory than Phoenix, with his persuasiveness and unpredictability, plus having an overall superior knowledge of the law. Phoenix would definitely hold his own, but I feel Saul is just way too erratic even compared to Phoenix's previous opponents. But
So this
if
guy
anyone
also
was
thinks
to
Phoenix
outwit
right
someone
win.
like Saul
Here's the
and
thing
his
about that,
tomfoolery,
though.
it would be Phoenix.
Here's the thing about
Phoenix
that.
with just a little bit of help would easily secure the
You go
win
up
over
here?
Saul,
Where is it?
especially with all of his tricks to see right through any of Saul's deception. But what do you think? Who truly is the
Chicanery
superior
turnabout?
warrior between these two? There's certainly a lot of things I could have.
This guy, Saul literally wins this. Like, you go in here. Looks like they use sprites to like make everything fit in. I don't know who this guy is. Like, why does the judge have a different looking beard? Yeah, that's not really the response you want to give, brother. This guy's so childish. He's like... I mean, that was kind of a burn. But like, look at this. Let's all agree that you caught the wrong guy, right? Let's start looking for the real guy. He doesn't know. Look at this shit. Mr. Pinkman, you say? Who's that? Huh? Well, that would be you? He's just some random stoner we found in the street, yo! Seriously, Jimmy, using this trick again? Oh, man. I mean, he could just be like, yeah, I did get a clear view of his face. Bro, Edgeworth is so flustered.
Objection!
Bruh. Not a good idea. But this is the perfect opportunity for a Better Call Saul reference. Why am I saying that as somebody who's never watched the show in my entire life? No, he's interfering with our cognitive abilities. Saul Goodman. He's playing with the law in this very courtroom. They'll never change. They'll never change. Just like my old mentor. They're all the same. And he gets to be a lawyer? What a sick joke. I should have double checked this fake defendant. You have to choose the guilty verdict. Dude, he's doing the same shit that all the other Ace Attorney villains do when they're on the witness stand. He's doing the same shit. This is just ridiculous. My advice, call yourself a better lawyer next time. I mean, Phoenix Wright only objected like one time. That's the thing about it. He needs to learn to object a lot more. Putting it under the car wasn't the smartest idea, was it? Yo, he's dumb as fuck. Oh no. I gotta get rid of the evidence. And throws it right under a moving car. Oh my god.
Have missed, so please leave anything in the comments below. I love talking more about stuff
But
like
yeah,
this,
he ended
and I
up
will try to
winning that.
respond to as many as I can. There will also be a straw and YouTube poll in the description.
If Saul
and I'll
could
try to
get
follow up on
Phoenix
in the
Wright's
future,
friends
whether it's
to
a
go
video,
against him
short, or even live stream. So
unintentionally,
stay
then he
tuned
could
for that.
actually win.
However, at the end of the day, we all know the true answer. If you're innocent, do the right thing and call the right anything agency. But if you're guilty, you better
This is what
call
everybody's saying.
Saul.
Better call Saul.
This is what everybody's been saying. The one thing that makes me not really want to bother with this show is that I heard somebody say that, and they're an attorney, by the way. I actually like Breaking Bad more. Oh, no, you don't. The show about folks doing crystal meth is better than a show about your job. That's rather concerning. Rather concerning indeed. So, I mean, he said, "Oh, I still like it." I don't know. I don't know if my courtroom obsession is enough to carry the show. Let me see if I got a last-minute job. I don't. Okay. Do not have it. Just let my guy go and start looking for the real guy. It's like he's really fucking stupid, but yet he has the sense to shut up when his attorney is speaking. But Edgeworth's a grown-ass man, and he couldn't think to do that. Oh my lord! You can't prosecute if your emotions are involved. You can't do it, especially in a jury trial. You cannot do that. Bad move on Edgeworth's part.
Hell no, I will not let it
Though even if Edgeworth didn't say anything, Saul probably would have just used like his knucklehead defense, and it probably still would have worked. But no way we're gonna know, because Edgeworth had to open his stupid fucking mouth. And I mean, dude, it's actually pretty plausible for him to do that, because he objected and said, "Oh, I'm guilty." Like, that literally happened in the story. Somebody was about to save his stupid behind, and he was like, "Objection, I'm guilty." That really happened. AppSecIR, what's the last word? What type of document outlines step-by-step actions to contain and respond to specific security incidents? Like, all I saw was a playbook. Well, what is this one? What's the answer to this one? Where the hell's the answer? Serious application incidents. We're looking for serious application incidents. Preparation. Software development life cycle. Oh, secure by design. go back to the reparations thing.
From a conservative perspective, this sounds a lot like a reparation. And traditionally, conservatives aren't in support of utilizing taxpayer dollars to just give to people. Now, there is a grievance process by which they could sue the federal government if they wanted to for a redress of said grievances, but to utilize taxpayer dollars for, again, effectively a reparation, I'm just not in support of that at all.
Donald Trump's administration announced the creation of a $1.7 billion.
Was that the black guy saying it? Yeah, it sounded like it.
Just really quickly, from a conservative perspective, this sounds a lot like a reparation. And traditionally, conservatives aren't in support of utilizing taxpayer dollars to just give to people. Now, there is a grievance process by which they could sue the federal.
Bruh. Look, I get it. I understand what he's saying, but reparations is not giving to people. It's just paying back their debts. That's all it is.
Government if they wanted to for a redress of said grievances, but to utilize taxpayer dollars for, again, effectively a reparation, I'm just not in support of that at all.
Donald Trump's administration announced the creation of.
I don't think it's really reparations in this scenario. I think it's just a grant.
Deemed to be victims of political weaponization, as he calls it. This apparently includes himself. He claims that he's one of the people who has been targeted by the government.
Oh yeah, he's always going to claim he's the victim.
Well, it applies to anyone at all. Anyone can apply. Of course, that doesn't mean that they can get it. Now, if that's going to be the standard.
Such a big baby, but that's okay.
Against you, then you should go ahead and apply for this money. Well, in that case, then black people should be the main lion's share of the individuals who apply for and get it, because nobody, absolutely no one, has the law weaponized against them more than black people do. You'll have black people who are 13% of the population, but will be like 65% of those wrongly incarcerated. 65% of exonerations.
Oh yeah, that alone is going to be a lot.
We're the main
of folks in there.
Weaponized against us. If anyone should be the first ones, if not the only ones in line, it should be us. That's what the totality of the discussion should be.
Yeah, I think it's like 13% of the population, 50% of the exonerations.
People who have been wronged by overzealous prosecutors and such, but that's not what this is about. And that's why the Democrats, they don't have a full head of steam about this one. They know exactly what the game is. Now, if Trump were to actually step forward and say, we're going to actually do something for all of these black people who have had the law weaponized against them, or at the very least, if it was clear to people that, oh, this little slush fund is actually going to be a compensation fund for black people who have been wronged by the injustice system, then don't you know you'd have Democrats who'd be the main ones going, oh, we agree with the basis for it, but the money, you see, where's the money going to come? And there needs to be a comprehensive study, anything to slow
You literally could just take it from the military.
Naturally, the question came up, gee, if you're talking about people who you say had the law weaponized against them,
just take like 0.000000001% of the military budget.
And the Trump administration and its spokespeople made it very clear, yeah, it includes them too. Yeah, they can go ahead. In fact, they're probably the main ones that they had in mind. But imagine that.
That's not even the only way to do it, though.
They're sitting here being very concerned. How could this happen? Oh, yes, a violent white mob lays siege to the U.S. Capitol, tries to overthrow the American government, and then that same government gives this white mob compensation for their losses. There's precedent for this. The U.S. government paid reparations to slave owners during the Civil War. I don't think you heard me. The U.S. government paid reparations to slave owners during the Civil War, not after. This was in 1862, mind you. The war was only into its second year. There were still 3 more years to go. And yet, while the muskets and the cannons were still firing, and
how did they suffer?
Just piling up, the U.S. government thought that that was the right time to pay slave owners reparations, because after all, how dare anyone deprive them of their black property? As for the slaves, there was absolutely no reparations, no compensation for them whatsoever, and they were the wronged parties. And this has been the stance of the U.S. government at every level ever since. Both political parties are dedicated to the proposition that if we're going to be talking about making people whole, we're going to make sure that it's the white supremacists who are rewarded for their mendacity and their criminality. All the orange man is doing is continuing that exact same white supremacist policy. Times like this, I gotta wonder, where are trash like Douglas Murray at? You know him, the British creep who said that slavery reparations...
No, I don't.
And it was all about
this man knows all the journalists, all the scumbag journalists.
His revenge tour, right? Where are the people who say, you just need to get over it? Where are the people who say, well, there's no money for reparations. Reparations too much. There's no money for it, we tell you. And that's the lie that they always drag out. But there's always unlimited funds when it comes to non-black people, especially white people. White people in Ukraine, they can find the money to go ahead and give them bombs and bullets. Israel, they always got money for them. And a white supremacist mob that overruns the capital, yeah, they got money for them. They can find it immediately. Ain't even got to look around for it. Ain't even got to ask about it. It's only with black people that we hear that lie. And that's the reason why we don't let them get away with saying, where are we going to get the money from? The same place you got the money for Ukraine, Israel, and these white supremacist scumbags who attacked the capital. That's where. Don't ever let somebody sit there and tell you, the money ain't there. No, they got tons of it. This is just a matter of they're telling you, well, we're going to try to hold the line against you. And that's the reason
It's like
why
dealerships
they
trying to
hold the
claim
line
that they're
across the
broke.
picket line.
It's
Nobody gets to lie
the
to
same
us
kind of
about
lie.
the money. We're the people who
They make
say,
plenty of
well,
money.
we need to have some studies
In
performed
places that you
first.
can't
We need
even
some
imagine.
Studies done first. We're the people who say, well, reparations, if anything's given, the compensation should take the form of housing vouchers or school vouchers or
See how long the battery will last.
just give them an apology. We're not hearing any of that. Not from the Democrats, and certainly not from
An hour and
Republicans.
24 minutes.
Oh, sure, according to some white media reports, which sound more exaggeration than anything else, some Senate Republicans are reportedly uneasy about this proposal by Trump. But they're not going to get too uppity with the orange man because they're all scared of him, and rightly so. Certainly after these recent Republican primaries that have taken place earlier this week, a number of Republicans have been made to walk the plank. Trump has shown that his ability to turn the Republicans' own voters against any politician that he points at is as potent as ever. All he's got to do is say so-and-so, he needs to go, he's horrible, and the Republicans' own voters will turn on them as if they never knew him. And that tells the GOP everything they need to know about how much they're truly disliked by their own voter base. About the only thing that the Republicans' base voters can agree on is that they like Trump's little racist antics. And no matter how many times the voters may have put a Lindsey Graham or somebody else in office, they never actually liked these establishment Republicans. They were always hoping for somebody who was going to be more extreme, more bellicose, more white supremacist. They were always looking for that. And that's what the Republicans are finding out the hard way. White supremacist light ain't good enough for them. But of course,
Too many words. Where's the action, guys?
On their way out the door, which is more
This is TryHackMe. This isn't a freaking textbook.
And they didn't even have much spine back then. In response to the Trump administration's announcement of this slush fund, wouldn't you know it, the police officers who were attacked on January 6th by their own fellow racists are now suing the Trump administration. Talk about the bad guys turning on each other. It's just turned into a royal mess. In other words, typical white supremacy. So these guys are upset that their fellow white supremacists are going to be getting some money for having beaten the hell out of them, when the reality is they're basically just envious. They're looking and going, you're supposed to be taking care of us too. White supremacy has no principles. All it has is moral relativism and situational ethics, and this is a prime example of it. And speaking of typical white supremacy, the
moral relativism and situational ethics. That's all they
They're not
got.
really complaining about the rightness or the wrongness of the Trump slush fund. They haven't said much about
Nothing
it.
real.
They're trying to claim that they're making legal objections to it, but they haven't really offered legal objections other than to complain about whether Trump was following the proper procedure for something like this. That's what the majority of the Democrats' objections to this have been based on. Mainly that, well, shouldn't Trump get a judge to sign off on this first? Yeah, that's what they're doing. Their objection isn't that it's happening. As a matter of did he follow the right procedures? You know, did he do it by the book? Behold, the so-called resistance.
The Democrats are so
Now, a
useless.
number of people in the white leftist media are using the phrase self-dealing to describe this slush fund, and it's true.
At least try a little bit to make yourselves seem useful.
Him, who's the head of the administration. It reminds you of all the times the police murder a black person, then they turn around and say, we've investigated ourselves and found that we have committed no wrongdoing. This is Trump literally doing, I'm white and I say so. Does he need an act of Congress? No act of Congress necessary. Do you need a judge to sign off on it? Nah, we don't need no stinking judges. I'm white and I said so. So we see the white right is showing everyone that they're fine with reparations. In fact, they are eager proponents of reparations so long as the recipients are not black. And that's the point that they actually want to reach. We want to make sure that if someone's going to be getting reparations or any sort of compensation, well, it can't be a black person. Or at the very least, have some sort of silly Negro who wishes that he was black. And that brings us to Enrique Tarrio, the former convicted felon, who was also the former head of the Proud Boys. And you know that deadbeat's always looking for a handout.
Was API
He's busy saying
logs,
he's hoping to get a check.
API logging?
He's sitting here putting on the doggone hair shirt and weeping for the guy. I think I deserve some money. I figure I should be good for at least a couple million. Everybody knows that this is basically the Trump payoff slush fund. That's what everybody knows. So they're lining up. Mr. President, you know, I kissed your hairy racist rump more than everybody else did. But he's not alone. There have been a number of Democrats who have heard the phony lies from J.D. Vance.
They're rarely ever alone.
Anybody can apply for it. Why, you know, Hunter Biden or whatever. Some Democrats should be able to apply. Anyone who feels the law was weaponized against them. Well, James Comey, who Trump has indicted twice, said on CNN that he's considering applying now. And wouldn't that be icing on the cake? Trump's administration sets up a slush fund for himself that he's clearly going to be administrating. And then when the media asks about who's eligible for it, Trump's administration lies and says, why, you know, everyone you see can apply. Yeah, but who's most likely to actually get a payout? Well, I mean, how are we supposed to know at this point? That's because this is always supposed to be a guarantee. It's supposed to be a question about who's going to be getting anything. And then you have James Comey, who the same Trump administration has under indictment. And now he's saying, you know what? I'm a victim of the law being weaponized against me by the federal government. Just goes to show they didn't think this out very well, but then again, they didn't have to. There's no real penalties for incompetence under white supremacy. One of the Proud Boy reprobates tried to pretend like he was acting on principle. He was sitting there talking like he wasn't sure whether he would apply because, as he put it, he didn't want to jeopardize his own baseless claim against the Bureau of Prisons. Quote, my commitment to justice is not about the money. I want to show they acted illegally. But he also said that if he could secure $2 million, he might reconsider.
Illegal votes!
Nice to see that one of the Proud Boys' commitment comes with a minimum bid. As the old saying goes, when they say it's not about the money, that means it's really about the money. Now, one last thing. You notice that the Trump administration didn't need a study before setting up almost $2 billion for a white supremacist insurrectionist mob. No need for years of research and putting out reports and all the other things that both Democrats and Republicans keep telling us are prerequisites for our reparations. No, they just said, cut these racist pukes a check. Democrats are caught on the horns of a dilemma. They want to maintain white racial exceptions like this because that's what the entire Sixth System is based on. But at the same time, they recognize the dangerous precedent this would set. And so do the white right and even their Negro lapdogs, as you saw at the beginning. The enemy knows that they owe us, and they also know the bill will be gargantuan, which it should be. The greatest crime in human history requires the largest compensation in human history. Family, the white supremacists are all about all the moves they make are exposing that there's a blatant double standard and also undermining themselves. And that's the kind of thing that we need to keep our eye on. But the real question is this. Why is it that the Democrats are never this bold on anything having to do with black people? Even black Democrats never take a stand. Not for us, they don't. Trump is doing exactly what his degenerate base wants, and he's not taking an opinion poll first. He's just.
You would think that people would have caught on already that the black politicians don't fucking do anything for us.
See, Trump understands that for his base, their votes have to translate into some sort of positive policy for them, some sort of beneficial policy for these reprobates. He understands that principle. And you know what? In its own sick, perverted way, that does make sense. He's the guy that they voted for, and he understands that they expect to get something out of it, and that's what he's doing. My question is, why the hell is it that Democrats expect black people to vote for them at all when they haven't done anything for us? If the Democrats actually did what the orange man has been doing, and that is coming in with sharp elbows saying we're putting these bills on the table, we're going to get them passed into law, we don't care who doesn't like it, then
where is the answer? What specific mechanism allows a vulnerable feature to be disabled instantly? Vulnerable feature.
The line is about white primacy. Yeah, they'll go ahead and get in front of the cameras and do the usual hand-wringing and tut-tutting and finger-wagging.
Feature flags.
People, we're not falling for any more of this political theater. We don't care about them sitting there
this
finger-wagging
is
at the
interesting.
orange man. Democrats should spend less time trying to stir up moral outrage about Trump and more time looking and going, you know what? We should be doing that kind of thing for our political base. That's the way that any intelligent political process works. If the person running for office isn't going to lift a finger for you, why the hell should you cast a ballot for them? Good day, and be one. I'd like to take a moment to mention some of our contributors. Andrew Lewis, Jimmy Whitfield, Gavin Andrade, Chris Sean Spann, and Back in Action. Salute to them and thank you to everyone for listening, liking, and sharing this.
So you have a feature flag to disable a vulnerable feature. Without needing to fully redeploy. Oh, okay, I think I get it. It's kind of like when you have your own application. If it's a software as a service, I think it's different. Because I'm like thinking about it, and I'm just like, how is disabling a feature like a strategy? Like, that's just kind of obvious, but yeah, if you're like a developer, you need like a way to disable these features without needing to redeploy for like instant response purposes. It doesn't really work if you haven't planned for it yet. Plex isn't shitified apparently. We got some weird videos in recommended. Really, really weird. I'm just gonna show it just to like, I don't know, show it. But like, these are weird. AI food is coming. I'll watch this video. The simple tool for unrigging the economy is spreading. Your town could be next. Compaq. We went to a town Elon Musk cut off from Social Security. Who gives a fuck about Social Security? You want to know what they told me when I was in high school? That there was this myth where, like, oh, I could just live off of Social Security. Even back then, nobody believed it. But nowadays, it's like, it's even worse than it was back then, because that was like 2017, I think. That was when the economy wasn't as bad with the inflation as it is now. So you can only imagine just how useless Social Security is nowadays. You can only, like, it's gotta be pennies on the dollar. I mean, am I tripping for saying that? Has Social Security been funded more? I think Bernie Sanders was talking about that, and he was like, "Let's overfund it or something." I don't remember the exact word he used, but it was like increased spending. I don't remember what he said, but that was pretty much the idea that he was going for, and Biden, I guess, was trying to like decrease it. Defund it, whatever. But man, it's gonna be a very long time before I retire, and at that point the economy is probably gonna get even worse than it is now. So I don't think even a 401k will be enough by the time I retire. But I'm not really even concerned about that. I don't know how you could cut off a town from Social Security. That's really strange. No damage speedruns have a lot of fakes, apparently. Plex's decline was years in the making. Is this a sponge? Like, what is this? What is this supposed to be? Why would a sponge get you arrested? Is it because the water looks good and normally it's bad? Why would I get... Oh, 3.2 million views. The dark ending of Code Lyoko. Flying, apparently your feet go first. It probably would, because like your head is gonna be like taking on all the wind, and it's not gonna be very pleasant to do at all. So you probably are gonna be flying feet first, actually. Yellow on NES? What? We already watched this. Yeah. The tier list is making cybersecurity people very angry. Somebody had to do it, man. I mean, why haven't we had a cybersecurity certification tier list for decades now? Not that long, but like, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, we should have had a cybersecurity certification tier list at least since 2019. At least 2020, really. Because I think that's when the tier list started happening. That's when we should have gotten a cybersecurity certification tier list. The fact that it's only happening 5 days ago and everybody's pissed. Are you serious? No. No. I understand some things shouldn't have tier lists, but certifications, yes, I think that's a good thing. I mean, you could probably be like, oh well, if you're going in this direction, you should get this kind of certification. But well, let's just be honest here, guys. There are good certifications and there are bad ones. Let's just be honest here. It's not about can you get a job with it, it's about how much does it benefit you. Certifications are not cheap. Some of them are kind of cheap, I guess. Oh, okay. Malware. Google malware. Honestly, this might be more interesting than TryHackMe. Emphasis on the mic.
Yesterday, I received this email with the subject, malware distribution via Google Ads. It says, hey John, you might want to check this out before it's gone. While searching for the Bing Webmaster's login page, they include this screenshot, and they indicate that they were searching in Google for Bing Webmaster tools, and one of the second sponsored results looks like a regular search.bing.com.
Let me just see if it'll work on my computer. God, my stomach feels like horrible. Yup, they're already searching for it. Yup. You see, I don't get any sponsored results because I have an ad blocker. Look at this. All these ads completely blocked. So I don't get any of that shit. But anyway.
But when you look at the inspect element here, you might see something strange. this data-pcu like HTML attribute is set to a URL https of bing.com, but then a comma and https markov-chains.com. Now, I kind of need your help here. Because for one thing, I can't recreate that search result to get those same sponsored results. Google Ads are super duper dynamic and variable based off of like your region and everything else. But if I were to try to have something that did have some actual sponsored results that come back, like if I search for Huntress, and here is one of the links that we could just inspect. Take a quick look at the inspector tools here. That entry, data-
Will that work?
does have the link to huntress.com. So the first wondering thought that I had was that
Oh, wait, I'm getting sponsored results now. Wait. Do I gotta delete Brave on my computer? Guys, I don't use Google at all, so I don't even know any of this.
URL, something unique or something interesting, but taking a look at another result here, let me go ahead and inspect. All of the other HTML attributes look just about the same as what we saw in the email screenshot, but here's another instance of the comma and then another domain, ad.doubleclick.net. And I would assume that's for actual Google Ads tracking, but the same thing happens with the data-rw URL for google.com/ACLK, and then a whole lot of this nonsense here. That's the actual href anchor, so if I were to even go click this link, let me hop to the network tab, and as I go here, you'll see at the very top, we never really went to an ads.doubleclick.net. We did go through googleadservices.com and the eventual hit of the google.com/ACLK that we would expect for ads tracking. So I'm not super positive if that does actually drag you to the markov-chains.com page from this potential Google malvertising. If you happen to know what is actually going on, please do let me know in the comments. But continuing on in the email, they say clicking that link would maybe lead you to markov-chains.com/category/lectures. If we were to go to that page, this is kind of weird. It doesn't have anything really well displayed here. Maybe a broken page with like latex page. You can see a WordPress favicon, so maybe a WordPress site. But if we were to inspect this page, you'll see something odd. Handful of things that are related to the actual site itself, a little bit of WordPress breadcrumbs, but occasionally you'll see an inserted, seemingly, link to preload as a script, some other domain, slgnahrefs.com/red and random.js JavaScript. It includes this here on lines 59 and 60, and it does the very same again on 73 and 74, and then even after a handful of links, it does it again on 142 and 143. Now, taking a look at this JavaScript, it's that. So, you know, JavaScript. I don't like dealing with JavaScript. I don't really want to, so we're going to throw this into WebCrack and see if it can deobfuscate any of this nonsense. I don't think it'll do a super good job, but it'll give us something. You can see this barely cleaned it up, but there is still a giant blob of what looks like base 64 data, and then some character codes that were at the top, but at the very bottom, it kind of decorates all this and stages it, and then ultimately calls some sort of function. So let's just see if we can sort of kind of recreate it by letting this run in sort of our own console here, just the parts and pieces before calling up a function. I pasted this all in, and now we'll be able to see what that last sort of variable is that they keep adding onto. This underscore BC9F7, and that is a whole lot more seemingly readable code. Let's try to actually display that out so that we can have all the new lines presented here. Let's copy that, and I'll throw it in a Sublime Text editor where we can set the syntax to JavaScript, and this starts to be kind of weird. Honestly, we could just throw this right back into WebCrack, but you could start to see some sketchy stuff that it's presumably at least adding some detection for. Hey, super quick, before we go any further, please let me take just a moment to tell you about the sponsor of today's video.
Vanta. Risk and regulations really are ramping up, and customers expect proof of security in order to do business. Vanta knows that's
I'm a customer.
So they synthesize compliance, risk, and customer trust all into one streamlined solution. They automate your compliance process with an AI-powered platform.
Guys. You saw that, right? Every time I see this, I just think car dealership, car dealership, car dealership. Call for price.
They automate your compliance process with an AI-powered platform. So whether you're prepping for SOC 2 or maintaining your GRC program, Vanta handles the hard work for you, so you can keep your business moving. Because even in the age of AI, security is still hard. It's harder than it's ever been before, and trust can make or break.
Why would AI make security
you and your
easier?
Security team, alongside other security leaders, are juggling everything, protecting your entire organization, not to mention customer data. But while the industry is moving too fast, you still got to keep up. Vanta helps streamline and safeguard your security program. Companies like Ramp and Ryder spend 82% less time on audits with Vanta. They're trusted by tens of thousands of companies to unify risk, compliance, and trust. In fact, they're the #1 rated GRC product on G2 reviews.
I can't believe I'm tired even after taking a damn melatonin last night.
Recognized by Fast Company and Forbes for innovation.
I guess today's just not my day.
Trust platform plugs into your existing
Policy,
so
but it's with a AW.
Source of truth. It flags the issues that actually need attention and automates everything else so you aren't bogged down. That's
alright, so
a solution
can I call them and tell them that I ask them if I can get this for $1?
Vanta helps clear your path so you can grow confidently and stay ready for anything. You can get started with Vanta with my link below in the video description.
Contact the sales representative and be like, I'll give you $1 and I'll give you some exposure. And that'll be all I can provide for you, sir.
See if they can clean it up a little bit better. Okay, so a handful of potential icons or assets for random different things. WeChat, WhatsApp, Zoom, WordPress, Google, and then they put together this config for an API path that has SLGNR or SLGNrefs.com. No hrefs there. Wasn't the original page, yeah, with a SLGNA hrefs. Weird. I assumed red meant for redirect, and then all these things that it's trying to detect and then have some cloaking, presumably.
I might need a nap.
I presume we're looking at, okay, the kind of the beginning gate of a phishing kit, right? Detecting your navigator, checking if it's in.
I might take a break and then come back online later.
Ooh, even trying to check if it has some VirtualBox or VMware artifacts that it could key off of to know whether or not you're real or not. We could carve out that HTML, but I don't want to get too far trapped down this random rabbit hole of JavaScript that we just saw on that strange website.
I hate JavaScript rabbit holes.
Was what we were curious
Get out, John. Okay. Get out.
What would this give us? Back again inside of our own interactive console. There we can see that gives us this URL, and presumably this could determine where it would load from. So without falling off a cliff here, we can presume from this weird random JavaScript, right, that this endpoint is probably what's going to return some server-side controllable redirect location, because it does like make it look like we are going to redirect, at least with just some smell of the code. Not reading this all while it is still obfuscating a bit. But that bundle of random JavaScript does make this Google Ads malvertising, malicious advertising scenario a little bit more feasible, because it makes sense to me if it is tracking, oh, you came from that URL, it then would then inject enough of the JavaScript to actually point you towards and redirect whatever the API returned at that time, which could very well have been login.truyenaudiomoy.com. If we were to hop over there, that is Bing sign-in. Granted, it's a Microsoft page, but it's fake. This is our landing lure, right? This is where presumably they would want to go ahead and steal your credentials, maybe, or at least guide you through enough of the process that you're providing username and password.
I mean, come on with that generic ass.
Right? What the heck? Let's just fill in nonsense here. a@a.com. Password is the letter A, of course.
What is it called? Regex? Absolutely not.
and we need to install the Microsoft security module on this device. So let's download that. To complete the installation, you just have to run the installer you download.
The stupid thing is this is actually kind of
I like
believable
the
for
trickery here.
Microsoft.
They don't let you click this button and they say if the installer didn't start, return the previous step and try again. Yeah, okay. So the file that downloads is hilariously called Microsoft.bat, and that .bat is a bat extension for like a batch script, or running a sequence of cmd.exe or command prompt commands. Some boilerplate here, you can see the
And Google just lets you download that.
Command output, set local enable delayed expansion to use exclamation points to indicate variables, and have some extra perks when trying to call functions.
That's surprising.
Here. Set some variables for max retries, retry count, a label here to retry, so it's probably going to loop, of course, trying over and over and over again, where it, of course, uses PowerShell, bypass execution policy, and run a command, and it's neat they're using the carets to add new lines even within batch. But obviously, we end up reaching out to this IP address and grab some strange text file, and then execute it with IEX as code. After, of course, we download it with IRM. These are PowerShell aliases, right? IRM to invoke REST method or retrieve some information from a website, and then IEX to invoke expression. That's basically eval, to run more code while it's provided first as text or as a string. So whatever this website displays, this endpoint from that strange IP address, will be executed on your computer. So let's try to go see what that is. And presumably it will be more PowerShell.
Does that spell something? No, it doesn't.
Will be executed on your computer. So let's try to go see what that is and what it would contain, and presumably it will be more PowerShell code, right? Because PowerShell is the one invoke REST method retrieving it and downloading it, and then IEX invoke expression to actually run it. Will this connect? Is it still online? Yep, do it anyway. I know we gotta be over HTTP, so that IP address is not responding right now, but thankfully I had gotten to this previously, and I saved a lot of the payloads, and we could see what this stage 2 would have been. Of course, more PowerShell.
I could probably fall asleep in this chair. This chair is actually pretty comfortable.
Strange stuff, right? Hey, we're using add type to be able to get some managed assembly, managed code, and we'll want to grab some Win32 API functions.
I ain't trying to fall asleep
and get console
during a broadcast.
That's kind of clever because I end up using that, right?
So maybe I can find another chair to use.
The module that they're calling this thing is as W, so they can reference from that the show window function, and then actually get the console, like PowerShell, the window as it is open, and then hide it. Like, don't show the window, which is funny, and then it goes.
I think for normal use it's good, but for stream use I should probably find something else.
Go grab it, determine if it exists or not, and if it doesn't, it will.
But my other chair is so noisy, it's really bad.
The place for it. That D variable was of course the split path, so it's creating the directory first, and then it will download this file from the same IP address, a script.php, and then execute that with the ampersand in PowerShell to denote we'll run it, and as a script block type, all of the contents that were stored in that F variable where it was downloaded to. So that is our stage 3, if we want to call it. With the site being down, thankfully again I do have this staged already. That defines a giant GS variable, which is a lot of base64 nonsense blob of some sort of data, but then a couple other variables like Q and N that look like they're going to be used for a smidge of crypto. You can see that those are decoded from base64, then they grab an AES object, take out the key, the initialization vector, and the mode, and then they decrypt that. The final variant that they have here, HX, they once again use IEX to invoke expression. So that would...
So what kind of crypto is it, sir?
4, and we could throw this into CyberChef if we really wanted to, but ultimately, since this is just
probably
PowerShell
cryptography,
code, we could grab
not
everything
cryptocurrency.
Before the IEX, so we don't detonate this or run the next stage ourselves, but then we could just let the code unravel itself. Just to be on the safe side here, I am going to work.
I think auth is fine, but I don't really like crypto. Crypto's not a good abbreviation.
Once that stage,
it's hard to tell which one it is.
All of this in.
Auth you can kind of just use for both, because a lot of people just say auth if they're not really sure.
It craps it out. Now we'll have this HX variable that we could go ahead and explore. And there's more code. So
But
this
crypto
is
is like
stage 4.
way too different for it to work.
Interaction preferences to stop, so it will just bail out if anything were to go wrong. We do have an installer URL to a hosting.iptusp.com and that. I'm going to assume that's probably stage 5 or our final payload, right? But look at these comments. A language that I don't speak, so I'm curious if you in the comments have any insights. But look, tracking a logged user, getting the Explorer, and uncovering the logged in user via Explorer process. That's kind of neat. Uncovering it a bit more, but then they stage a public path for C users public SV.
I got an idea. I'm gonna try. What was that? I heard something. What was that? I don't remember what device that was, but folks, I think I'm going to go ahead and add my fun playlist. I'm gonna see if maybe that'll help. Pop player. Ding, ding, ding. Hopefully none of these are copyrighted, which some of them might be because I move things from one playlist to another. What's going on here?
I feel like I need to run PowerShell code through Google Translate. I've never had this predicament before. Puts it in a random number and then goes to probably, stage a setup exe based off some of the date values. Downloads that installer and then tries to run it, with Inno setup. And a couple of the arguments here to stage what it will do.
Wow.
Is one of those well-known
I wonder which country this guy comes from.
End up then creating a scheduled task. And
Brazil,
once
perhaps?
Successfully installed, it cleans things up. Neat though that it has a flag file or something to kind of indicate the fact that this already ran now from your app data directory, local app data, and then a machine counter. So then we could check as to whether or not it works. Okay, and it prepares some information to notify further C2 to indicate what host name, what username, what country, and what time they infected that host. Okay.
I love Portuguese.
Is this thing still up? This was the alleged C2 thing, but how about that install? That's still up? That's still up. So to look a little bit further now, I am going to open up Remnux, the reverse engineering malware Linux distribution, and I downloaded the installer.exe, and that is, if we were to just simply take a look at the strings there, do we see any indicators of Inno? Inno setup. Yeah. So you can use tools like Inno extract and a whole lot of other things to be able to explore those, but that might not work the best on that version. So I am actually going to hop back to Windows, and we can use the Inno unpacker, and that's just a GUI application that tries to combine.
Alright, we'll get back to this here. I'm gonna go ahead and add a folder. Folder, guys. Folder. Let's go. Yes, sir. Update. My bad. The developer will push a hot fix. Yes, sir. Okay. Discussing what lessons can be learned. What is that called? Reflection? I don't know. Post-mortem. Report. Incident report. Alright. The attack box? Oh, great. What the hell is this? No. I don't need to attack my own network, I'm good. Why would they ask for that permission? That's weird. Never seen that before. What the hell are we gonna do with the attack box? Wow. This turned from a medium level room into a hard level room. I gotta do this in an hour? Maybe it won't be that bad. Front end. And of course, you have to SSH into the machine because there are a bunch of animals. Can't just be, oh, you can do it from a server box. No, it has to be SSH. So unnecessary. Dude, I'm so fucking drowsy, man. I can't even get... What is going on here? Is there like a port that I'm missing? No. I can't access it. Come on, guys. There we go. Thank you. Flag submission is over there. Look at how expensive this crap is. Ugh. I have to get a computer soon. I fucking hate my life, bro. Look at this. Yeah, storage was... The prices were going down. Thanks, AI. Now it's gonna go back up. Blocked website. Maybe Proton VPN is what's blocking it. I don't know why they keep telling me blocked website, but I'm not getting blocked. Alright, we open up the terminal. AppSec. Of course I spelled it wrong. IR at 10.64.180.132. Alright. I'm already at home. Okay, let's see what we got here. That's it? Okay. Oh, that's not too bad. So extend it. Yeah, it's not too bad. We can work with this, I think. Alright, health check. Health check. Health check again. Get request. Alright, now they're trying to log in. Successful login. Incident responder at company.thm. Is that really the company name? Requested user ID is 100. Static app.js. Sam.Jones@company.thm. Where's the suspicious stuff, guys? This one's instant responder. This one is Sam Jones. Okay. Okay. Alright, /home. Security audit. User ID mismatch. Warning. Access control violation from Aaron Miller at company. Or no, he accessed Aaron Miller. Sam Jones accessed Aaron Miller's account. Access control violation. What? So I gotta log in as Sam Jones? Is that what I gotta do? They don't tell me what the password is. Sam Jones at company.thm. And then I guess this is the password. Invalid password. Huh. Did I fuck it up? Please, guys. Where's my... There we go, terminal. Alright. Oh no, it's Sam Dot Jones. Okay, Sam Dot Jones, not Sam Lower Line Jones. It's still invalid. Darn it. They got in somehow, I don't know what it is. Sam Jones at company.thm. So it's full login. They did it with Firefox. How am I supposed to reproduce this? I don't know what his password is. Do I need another log? Like, I don't know. Note the timestamp in the user's victim's user ID email. What do I have to do? Change it to this? Like, I don't get it. You know what, maybe let's just check the, let's just check and see. Maybe we don't have to log in at all. Let me log in, you piece of human garbage. How do I log in, brother? If I can find another way here. How the fuck am I gonna figure out what the password is? Maybe I don't need a password? I don't know. Like, what am I missing here? Manage passwords, maybe it's in there? Oh, okay. I don't think so. Maybe I just need to. Maybe I don't need the thing anymore. I just need to search users/103/profile. Maybe that's all I need. Oh. Okay. Well, I guess I was overthinking it. Alright. It still seems like it's not enough because I'm not getting a flag yet. Alright, so I access the profile. Warning, message, 104.profile. So this is who? Who's this? 104. Who's 104? No. Why does it have his credit card number? Come on. I gotta really finagle with this. Okay. So it's 104, that's not it either. access control violation. 105. 101. Okay, we're gonna try 105 and then 101. Nope, not there either. I guess we'll submit the flag? I don't really get it. Oh, fuck. Now I gotta charge my headphones? God damn it. Dang it, this is actually making me think. Ugh. And now that these headphones are apparently low battery. Let me check the Bluetooth settings. Bluetooth settings. 10% battery remaining. Wow. What should have been in place to prevent the discovered vulnerability from reaching production? Select 2. Authentication middleware on all routes. Secure coding practices and code review. Logging and alerting in production. A threat model identifying access control flaws. Okay, that would have probably helped, I think. Asset inventory of all public endpoints. Input sanitization on all user fields. Well, it wasn't really a user field necessarily. The real thing is we need like a way to, if we're dealing with IDOR, we need like some way to make it secure. The direct object reference needs to be secure. Logging and alerting in production. I mean, that's not really going to prevent it from reaching production because it's already in production at that point. So I think it's just secure coding practices and, I don't know, maybe authentication middleware also? No, this is preparation. This is preparation. I gotta remember that. Okay. What vulnerability did you identify? Please fucking save me, bro. I still spelled it wrong? You know, whatever. At what time did the attacker successfully authenticate into an account that wasn't theirs? Let's take a look at that. Right here. Is this really how we gonna do things? Damn it! We're just gonna have to do this another time. Can't believe they would cockpit block me like that. That's crazy. TryHackMe. I didn't think they had the nerve to do that. The nerve and gall. What about this one? WAF introduction. That seems like it could be useful. Fuck. Hold on a second. Fuck! Hold on. Do I have a VPN? You better be joking. I might have it still because... No, I don't have it. I must have set it up on my other computer. Okay. Well, maybe not that one yet either. I'm trying to find something, man. I really am. Attack box. This one doesn't need an attack box. It's just a CVE. CVE for RCE. Was a vulnerability. 9.1 critical. Chain reaction. Trying to find something that I can lock into. But there's nothing really much here to work with. Nginx Rift. How are there so many CVEs? I guess that's what they were on. TryHackMe. Intro to Detection Engineering. You don't want to be that guy. Oh my gosh. Attack box. No attack box. Okay. I guess we could do this, but if this one doesn't work out, then I'm gonna end stream and try and figure out the OpenVPN stuff. Maybe take a nap. Interesting. The SIME. The EDDER. The T. Automaton. GitHub. And more. Practice the detection guy. So this is the ways that you can use it to do detection engineering. Detection creation, detection tuning, detection management, detection. The detection guy. Sent as a SOC manager looking to improve his detection SOC maturity. He hired you, an inexperienced SOC level 2 analyst, to help him decide how to build this high maturity team. By answering his questions correctly, you will receive flags that will let you complete each task in this room to use the view site to help him. He's a SOC manager. I think he'll be fine. He doesn't need me for anything. I want to understand the difference between my SOC analyst and a detection engineer. Can you explain it to me? What is this? Can I explain it to you and the only options are these three? SOC analysts respond to alerts reactively. Detection engineers proactively build and improve the detections the analysts depend on. This is kind of weird. SOC analysts build detections. Okay, that's definitely not it. Detection engineers manage the SIM infrastructure while SOC analysts write the detection rules. Okay, that's not it either. Okay, that's flag 1. I track how our detection logic has changed over the past month for a specific role. Where should I look? In the SIM by checking the rules edit history in the detection management interface. In the version control systems such as GitHub where detection logic changes are tracked. I don't think that's what it's for. Oh, maybe it is. Yeah, it might be the version control actually. The SIM has an edit history. It's most likely the version control actually. In the threat intelligence platform where rule changes are no, that's not it at all. Alright, version control is awesome. Best invention we ever made in software engineering. That's why everybody uses GitHub. Let's revisit the word engineering for a moment because you're seeing it a lot. Software engineering, you don't just write code and ship it. You design, build, test, review, and deploy, monitor, and iterate. There's a process of the structured life cycle that separates a reliable, maintainable system from a fragile one. Yeah, except software engineers usually just copy their code from Stack Overflow, but in any case, detection engineering lifecycle, there's no single university adopted standard. Most detection engineering teams operate around a common life cycle. The exact stages in their names vary between organization frameworks, but the underlying logic is consistent. What should I detect right away in my environment? What are the technical details of the attacker's technique that I'm trying to detect? Do we have logs to detect the attack? Are they sufficient? What is the best query logic to detect this threat? Is the detection working? Is it generating false positives? This is kind of interesting. I'm going to save this. Let me see if I missed something beforehand, because I know for a fact that because I'm so fucking tired that I'm going to miss something. I'll go ahead and screenshot this too, why not? detection engineering life cycle. Is the detection generating false positives? Why? Do we need to retire it? Okay. It will complicate something so fucking simple. It's just maintenance, bro. Maintain the detection. That's it. Note that there are two feedback loops in the diagram above. If the detection fails testing, it goes back to design, not to deployment, with fingers crossed. When attacker TDPs change significantly, the life cycle restarts and threat research. Detection lifecycle frameworks. Some great detection engineers develop frameworks to bring structure to detection engineering and help the community. You don't need to memorize them, but you need to know they exist to use as a reference. So we got Credo breaks the detection lifecycle into 5 explicit phases, emphasizing the detection work doesn't end deployment. Pushes teams to treat ongoing evaluation and operations as first-class activities rather than octopods. Learning detection strategy gives detection engineers a consistent template to follow every time they build a detection. It covers the detection goal of the attack, techniques, targets, the data sources it relies on, and the expected false positives, and ensuring that every rule is built and documented consistently. So everyone on the team can understand, reproduce, and maintain it. Good detections are engineered, not improvised. The specific framework you use, if any, matters. Alright, so we're looking for the third flag. My analyst wants to start writing the detection rule right away. She hasn't reviewed the available log sources. Just let it proceed. Yes. Log source availability is the IT team's responsibility and shouldn't block detection work. No, data review must happen first before the required logs. Let's see. Data review are available. So you first want to do detection backing. What do I want to detect? Threat research. What are the technical details of the attack technique? Data review. So no. Then the answer is no. We built a detection and it works in the lab. My analyst says testing is done and we can ship. Am I missing something? Testing is done and we can ship. No. A successful lab test is the final validation step before deploying to production. Yes, peer review and documentation still need to happen before deploying. No documentation can be completed after deployment without affecting detection quality. I don't think you need to do peer review. Documentation can be completed after deployment without affecting detection quality. What? Incorrect. Is it peer review? Seriously? Let me see this. Where do they mention this? They don't mention it at all. Peer review. You test it. It works in the lab. I don't know, guys. Peer review before deployment. Okay, they did not mention that at all. Writing a detection is a technical task. Thinking like a detection engineer is something else entirely. The tooling and querying skills are learnable, but the mindset is what separates engineers who build high-quality detections from those who build detections that are easily bypassed. In this task, you will explore some concepts that build strong detection engineering mentality. There's an uncomfortable truth at the heart of the detection engineering. You are always playing catch-up. Attackers move first. They research, develop, and deploy a technique, and after it's observed in the wild, only does the defender community build detections and document it. By the time a detection is mature and widely deployed, a motivated attacker has already often moved on to a variation or entirely different approach. This dynamic is visualized in the detection gap. Evasion detection capability over time. Detection capability goes up, evasion capability also goes up. Up and up and up and up and up and up and up. You're just trying to play catch up this whole time. We just can't quite make it. Because they have the upper hand. They get the first move. It's like white versus black in chess. The gap between the evasion capability curve and the defender's detection curve never fully closes. Detection engineer's job is not to eliminate that gap, but to keep as narrow as they possibly can. Classic question: since defenders are always one step behind, will attackers win every time? No, you will not detect everything, and you don't need to. Revisit the concept of an attack chain. Attacker does not perform a single isolated technique, they execute a subset of techniques. This means the attacker will use multiple known techniques in their attack chain. That's the opportunity the detection engineer has. Attackers need to succeed at every step of the kill chain, while defenders only need to catch one just to start investigating and acting. So even if you detect a minority of techniques, it can be sufficient to disrupt an attack. You're not wrong there. You're not wrong. Attackers do have the burden, a larger burden in this regard. It is kind of like law, isn't it? Like the defense attorney, they just need to provide just enough reasonable doubt, while the attack attorney needs to provide all the proof. And if there's one little contradiction, that could just ruin the entire plan of attack. I don't know, brother. I don't know. Maybe that's why I like the legal system now, just messing around in the court. Having a party in the courtroom. It's just because it's kind of similar to cybersecurity. I'm assuming this is the last task, but you know what they say about assuming. Masquerading. Let me see. One of our detections fired 500 times last week. My analyst reviewed 20 alerts, and all of them were false positives. How do I describe this problem? This is a recall problem. The detection misses real threats and needs a broader logic. Okay. That's not correct. This is a false negative problem. Okay, it literally says false positive. What? These are both the same. I don't know why folks think that false positives and false negatives are such a difficult concept. It's like the simplest thing in the SOC. But they just keep on being like, this is a false positive, this is a false negative. Guys, I know. I figured it out, like, from the first time I heard it. I don't know, maybe it's because I just have that kind of background. I don't know what would make me know what a false positive and false negative is. It might, maybe it's just like the Sonic X or something. Sonic X is military. False positive. Where have I heard that from? False positive. I keep going back to security systems, but I think that's... I don't think that's where I first heard it from. Oh, no. I think that's from medicine, actually. I think that's where I first heard false positive from. I'm pretty sure it's like some sort of like COVID testing or something. False positive. Maybe not. I just assume that things are gonna like lie to me. That's probably why I was thinking of false positive as like a concept. Because there's a certain procedure you gotta follow in order to get tested for that disease. Alright. This is where Phoenix Wright does his objection. LSAS dump, brute force, startup keys, Mimikatz. Those are detections for like known techniques. Detections triggered. PTH, DC sync, PS exec, and then threat group techniques, which are not known by defenders yet. The thing is that it's just easier to do tried and true methods than it is to reinvent the wheel. It's just a lot easier, more expedient. You get what you want faster. So most of the techniques that they're using are going to be known already. Most of these folks are not geniuses. They're just people who know how to follow directions. Precision and recall. Low recall means they're slipping through sound with no alert. Yep, exactly. So you got to prioritize their performance. That's kind of awkward. You don't want to miss any alerts. Treadmill detection is based on what attackers did in past incidents or on what they must do to execute a technique. Okay. Let's see. Focus on what attackers did. Past incident data is the most reliable source for accurate detections. Focus only on attackers must do. Behavior fundamental to a technique is much harder to bypass. Build both equally. Combining IOC's behavioral logic gives best coverage. Compromise. Balance. You'd love to see it. Any more tasks? This is 5th task, guys. I thought because of the 3rd bulb that there was only 3. Looks like I was mistaken. You can share individual tasks. Okay, brother. What does that look like? What does that look like? Oh. Oh. Well, that's disappointing. I guess it's not that surprising, though. Detection engineering. go ahead and get this picture as well. I really gotta clean this stuff up. I might do it over the summer break. Missing log sources. Parsing issues. So we'll go ahead and screenshot this because it looks pretty important. These challenges are real, but they are not unique to your team. Every detection engineering practitioner faces them. The difference lies in how much investment the team has to address them. Single line is absorbing D responsibilities alongside SOC work will feel all these simultaneously. A mature team with dedicated roles, tooling, and processes will face the same challenges, but with the resources systematically tackle them one by one. In other words, increase your budget, you fucking greedy bastards. 2 examples of how this plays out in practice. Tackling missing log sources starts with building a data inventory, which is living document mapping every detection of required log source and flagging gaps. Team will invest in this early, avoid the painful discovery or broken detection after an incident. As the team matures, the process becomes automated. Pipelines validate the availability of the log source before detection is even deployed. You know, I was thinking about like the budget. I think if I was a cybersecurity information security officer, I think what I would do is I would probably refer to like breaches, and then I would like compare that to my team, and I would just be like, okay, alright, we haven't really been focusing on this, so I'm gonna need some, you know, we already got our teams doing their regular work, but I need some more folks on the team so we can prevent this kind of breach. And then I would just be like, okay, this is what it cost us. What it cost the other person. They lost all this data and all that stuff, etc. Do you want to pay for this? You know, is this something you're willing to risk? If not, help increase my team's prowess. You feel what I'm saying? So I'd probably say something like that. Not in that manner, but you get what I'm trying to say. Alright. My team keeps getting distracted by documentation metrics and automation tests. Is that normal for a detection engineering team? No. Yes, these are standard D responsibilities. Okay. These tasks only apply to mature teams. Really? That doesn't seem right to me. This should be handled by a separate operations team. I don't see anything here about metrics. No, this should be ops. This should be ops. Oh my god, fuck. I have to start all over again. Dang it. This is kind of hard. I can't even lie. I didn't think it would be this brutal, for real. Kind of weird, but okay. Kind of strange. We have hundreds of rules in our sim. Some were written years ago, and nobody knows what they cover anymore. Is this a problem? No. No silent rules, no alert up are harmless. Yes. Alright. Awesome, we are done. I love it. I'm ready to create some high quality detections. My skills are skyrocketing. Man. That is amazing. That is fantastic. What the fuck is this? I think that's good enough. What is he doing? A blowtorch to light a cigar. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. That's wild. You have to eat one liver, escargot, frog legs, haggis. I'd probably eat frog legs, I can't even lie. Liver just sounds way too gross. It really does. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and end stream now. I don't know what happened. It says 49 minutes. That's definitely not how long I've spent. I'm gonna figure out this OpenVPN shit and yeah. I might be back today. I might be back tomorrow.